We all suffer from this every once in a while. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. What am I talking about? I'll get to that in just a sec. I'm going to talk about what it is, what my family uses, what we found to work and to help us. Now this isn't big farm A approved type stuff. This is stuff that they would say, oh, that doesn't do anything, you can't say that does anything. So take it with a grain of salt, and I'm not a doctor also. But I did stay at the Holiday Inn Express last night. Just kidding. Anyway, nausea, right? We all get nausea sometimes. Whether it's because we're sick, whatever may cause it. Maybe it's caused by other medications. What does my family do for nausea? Well, a lot of it's old school. Stuff I learned from my mother, my grandmother. Stuff my wife learned from her elders. That knowledge passed on by elders is very important. A lot of the old school, aka homeopathic, remedies that Big Farm A doesn't like us talking about. Been passed down for generations. Stuff that does help, assist you, not cure. Anyway, what are some of the things that are really good? I don't know if you've heard of brat. Banana, rice, I forget the A, and toast. Of course, I forget one of them. My wife would tell me what it is. Those plain, bland foods definitely help. Rice, toast, those are all good things to have. What are some other things that will help? Supplement or assist. Things like ginger ale, 7-Up, Sprite, seltzer water, some of those kind of things you might find to help. Things with ginger in them. That's why ginger ale. Ginger helps, assists, may help a little bit with nausea. One of the symptoms of the whole Mike Run thing, the new one, is nausea, from what I've heard. So some of these things might help you. Bland foods and drinks like that. Also maybe like herbal teas and stuff might also help you. But ginger really does help us, from what I've seen. Also things like crackers, like saltine crackers, you know, maybe some graham crackers, stuff like that. Simple, basic foods. Every once in a while we all get nauseous. So there's some things you need to think about. Also there's over-the-counter meds for nausea, nausea control. These are things you might want to think about stockpiling in your preps. I know this isn't a glorious topic. We're not talking about these things or anything cool. But the fact is, we have to talk about realistic, real-world things. Also, as well as the cool, fun things. And this is one of those things. It's realistic. It's real. We all suffer from it. We all talk about medical stuff. We all talk about tourniquets and sucking chest wounds and all this crazy stuff. Well, sometimes it's the little things. It's the little things like nausea that can really keep you down, keep you out of the fight, keep you from taking care of what you need to do, from doing the things. So, stockpile these kind of things in your preps. Some of them don't, shelf life, you gotta pay attention to shelf life, but definitely include some of these things to help you be more well-rounded, prepared for all these kind of things. There's a lot of other little ailments and stuff like that also that you can prepare for via over-the-counter, via the homeo, stuff we talked about, pathic stuff. But a lot of the herbal, natural things do help. Big Farm A just doesn't want you to know about it because they want to sell you drugs. They're the biggest drug dealers on earth. They don't want you to be able to grow your own stuff that helps you deal with ailments. They don't want you to go about using things and doing things in the natural way. Which, as preppers, my family, we love natural remedies, natural way. But as preppers, it's more than just that. It's more realistic, because if things really go south, stuff really hits the fan hardcore, and we're in some kind of prolonged event, then we will have to go back to using stuff like that, because we won't be able to go to the drugstore. We won't be able to go to the hospital. So learning more about that is very important. Things like my wife, hopefully we'll be getting around to some videos about it. I talked about it, a couple times, about the apothecary, setting up an apothecary, essential oils, very good. There's a lot of good stuff out there. There's all this stuff that God put here on this earth for us, that we're so blessed with, that helps deal with all the things we need to deal with. A lot of these things that the big companies put out, they come from natural sources. I mean, seriously, they just alter it or whatever, stuff like that. But anyway, the more you can know about natural things like this, the better off you'll be. The closer to nature, I feel, is better anyway. Just because, like organic stuff, just basic stuff. I'm not some, I don't know, hug the earth hippie type, not in a dramatic way. You guys should know me by now. I'm just simple. I really like the simplicity of things like this. I like the idea of simplifying our lives, going back to nature for what we need. Growing our own food, raising our own animals, hunting, fishing, trapping, snaring, herbal medicinal or foraging for herbal medicinals, herbal and foods, and it's such like that. My brain. Woo. Anyway, because it's sustainable. It's much more sustainable than relying on a source like big companies that may or may not be around in a prolonged event, or maybe even a shorter term event. And it helps us, it empowers us. It helps us to be more capable of dealing with things. I like old school, I like simple, I like, homesteading type stuff. It's not easy, but it's simple. That's one thing I like about when we have Snowmageddon here. Just bunkering in. Simple. The snow, I could get in my truck and go. Of course I could. If I needed to put on chains, I put on chains. I could go about and just live normally. But we love it. It's kind of like it doesn't force us, but we say it forces us to simplify our lives. We just do simple things. We cook, we clean, we play with the kids, we get stuff done. And I get out in it and train. Very good things to do. Find ways to simplify your life. One of the things we've been talking about recently is, even though it's winter, we're going to wait for some really cold winter. We're going to wait for some low 20s, maybe some high teens. I'd really like to get a next cold stretch. We're going to flip the main breaker on our house. Seriously, we're going to do it. We have a wood stove. We'll crank that puppy up, light some candles, simplify our lives, and have a weekend of it. Camp in the living room. Bundled up in sleeping bags next to the wood stove. Oh yeah, baby. Cooking on the wood stove via cast iron. That's one thing. Maybe I'll do a video about it. I know it's totally off topic, but our wood stove in our house is not like our wood stove at our primary bug out location. Our primary bug out location is way up in the mountains, extremely remote, and it's like a guide stove, like an outfitter stove. It is designed with a cooking space on it for cooking. This one does not. But I believe there are probably attachments for the tops of wood stoves that attach to it, with metal, so that the heat transfers up to that top part that allows you to cook on it. I'm going to look more into that. I can cook on mine right now. I would just have to use my smaller cast iron pan instead of my large cast iron pan that I love, that I do all my cooking in. Almost all my cooking is done in cast iron. I love cast iron. So we're going to do that soon. And I hope you guys do things like that also, because it tests you. It helps you find holes in your preps. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for the power grid going down in the middle of winter? I know this isn't talking about what I started off talking about. But it's important. It's all important knowledge. So I hope you stuck around and actually watched this portion of the video also. And please, I encourage you guys to subscribe, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, click the little all, because then you'll get all the notifications every time I put out a video, hopefully, except for the whole shadow BANNED thing. Then you got to click on my channel, click on the video tab, and they're all still there, every one of them. So please support the channel. I really appreciate your help. I really appreciate all the subscribers here. We'll be at 25,000 soon. I know we will. And that's well on the road to 100,000. So we'll get there eventually. I know it. I just want to get out there. I would love to have 1 million subscribers. Because financially it would help my family. But really, it's not that. Especially right now, it's not that. Because I don't make that much money here. What it is, it really gives me a sense of purpose. It really gives me good feelings knowing that I'm able to do this and reach people, help people, empower people, uplift people, because I get emails all the time, flooded in emails sometimes, about people telling me that I helped them. And that's what really matters to me, is helping others. We all need to do that more. We all need to reach out to build our groups, our tribes, and to help ourselves, our families, our communities, our neighbors, and the people around us. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.